Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Namanam, here trying out a kind of different style of video because today I just really want to talk about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Considering the sequel will come out by the end of the week, there is no time like the present. To start off, I kind of want to get into how this game affected me personally. Back in 2017, I was a goofy little unemployed 10-year-old, right? I had to wait until Christmas to, fingers crossed, get that godly Nintendo Switch. Whew. Man, those are the times. When that special day finally came, I opened my presents, and as you can guess by the title and the nature of this goddamn video, I ended up getting a Switch. Wow. Wow, I had a Switch to play my Switch game on. But I had two games with that Switch, and that was Super Mario Odyssey, and as you could probably guess, Breath of the Wild. Now, it's up to you which is the better game, but you know, I'm making the video on Breath of the Wild, so you can probably guess which one I enjoyed more. But Breath of the Wild was a massive part of my life for solid 2 to 3 years. I was just obsessed with like getting every shrine, every memory, killing every Lionel, getting every goofy little outfit. Not every Korok, because that's a massive inconvenience and pain in the ass for me. But my god, that game was so much fun, dude. Oh my god, it brings me back just thinking about it. Like, wow. I mean, this game just iconically throws you into the world and just teaches you the basics and then sets you free. Like, one of the best parts is you pretty much just get let off your leash, go find the tools, and then you can kill the boss whenever you want. Like, the final boss, he's just there in the center of the map, pretty much. You can always see him. It's the easiest thing to do. It's crazy how much, like, free will you have in this game. And I mean, maybe games like Elden Ring have built a bigger, more interesting world, but what other games just let you fight the final boss when you want? Like, if you're done with a tutorial and you have the dream, you could just go fight Ganon. Like, that's crazy to me. I mean, I don't think any other game does that. Like, I mean, it opens speedrunning. Like, oh my god, it's crazy, dude. Like, speedrunning's so much more interesting in this game. Like, I mean, the fact you can just go to Hyrule Castle and get whatever weapons you want. I know I'm going off a little tangent, but that's just crazy to me, man. You never see games like that. Unfortunately, this freedom of gameplay does severely impact the story. Alright, instead of huge moments like pulling the Master Sword from Ocarina of Time, or the giants holding up the moon in Majora's Mask, we only see about 20 to 30 minutes worth of memories total. That's the only, like, I mean, there's kind of other cutscenes, sort of, but like that's pretty much the most substantial storytelling in the game, which is really, it's, you know, it's a little upsetting. You're kind of getting chipped story-wise, but to be fair, I feel like the memory system is like the best way they could have done this for sure to tell the story of the game. Like, I think it's a really kind of brilliant way of just telling stories. I think what they pulled together was just amazing. Like, even like you look at it, the characters may not be amazingly fleshed out, but god, they're really fun, I feel like. Like, for example, you know, Ravioli, whatever his bucket is. He's a complete asshole. He's not fun to be around at all. I'm gonna be real. And then there's Mifa. She's kind of interesting. She's an interesting character. You know, there's Sidon too. I kind of like Sidon. He's kind of fun. And there's Daruk. You know, Daruk's the, oh my god, he's such a bro, dude. That's the only way that I can describe Daruk. And then there's Urbosa. She's interesting. She's alright, but like, man, they're fun. And like Zelda's a lot more of an interesting character too in this one. And considering like she's the only one who has her name in the goddamn title, I feel like it's kind of important to actually have an interesting Zelda. You know, another slight issue I have character-wise, you know, Ganon, main villain, he's not a character. He's just a force of nature, pretty much. Not even like an interesting kind. He's just a force, pretty much. Like, the previous Ganons in older games, he always kind of had some character to him. You know, when he's Ganondorf, he talks to you. He's just a slimy little bastard, pretty much. That's pretty much his character, and I can vibe with that. I think it's interesting. I mean, that's pretty much all my complaints, though. Like, we go into the good stuff of this, like, setting the story aside. You look at the music. I think the music actually, I dig it, dude. A lot of people definitely don't like it, and I can see why they don't like the music in this, because the previous games had amazing music. Like, you look at stuff like, the Forest Temple. That is such, like, an atmospheric, magical track that's in Ocarina of Time. Good lord, if you haven't played Ocarina of Time or Breath of the Wild, you gotta play those two. They're so fantastic. But, like, that is such, like, oh my god, it's so... I barely have words to describe how amazing that track is. And you look at stuff in Breath of the Wild, and it's just kind of piano notes, and, like, I can kind of dig that, right? I think it's definitely, like, on the plus side, it's definitely up there with freaking Animal Crossing and Minecraft for, like, the chillest OSTs ever. Like, I love listening to the Breath of the Wild soundtrack. It's so fun, dude. It's such a good soundtrack, but man, it's not as good as freaking Ocarina of Time. Which, it's fine, right? I think taking a chill, more just, like, laid back, less, like, present, like, attempt on the soundtrack, I think that's definitely a good way to go for this style of game, this open, free style of game. And, like, that, you kind of see this similar kind of, like, it's a reflection of the gameplay, kind of like how you see in Minecraft and Animal Crossing. They're just laid back games where you're free to pretty much do whatever you want. And, the soundtrack really does reflect just how chill, laid back the game is. And I really dig games with those types of soundtracks. I just played Nintendo shit. Wait. This is gonna DMC my ass. God damn it. Okay, we're moving on, alright? Now we're gonna talk about the combat of this game. The combat, oh my god, dude. This is one of the freaking best parts for my 10-year-old ass. I just remember, like, trying to get as many shrines as possible. I had that goal, big 120. And then I kind of realized that there are shrines that are tests of strength. And I wasn't the best at the combat at that time. And, let's just say I could do minor. Alright, it took me a while. But moderate, I eventually started feeling pretty comfortable. But damn, the major ones. Something about them, man. They got to me. And it was rough. Like, it took me a while, but I eventually finally got good because of these damn shrines. And I'm so glad that I did, because it is so much fun to engage with. Like, I just like going up to those stupid little bokoblin goons, their little camps, and just, like, wearing my little bokoblin mask, sneaking in, maybe planting a couple bombs somewhere, and just, like, setting up freaking dominoes and then just pushing them over. It is so, like, games with this style of combat, like, I'm gonna go a little bit outside of, the script here, but, like, games like Metal Gear Solid 5 and Breath of the Wild easily have some of the most fun combat, like, ever. And, like, clearly Breath of the Wild took a lot of inspiration from Metal Gear Solid 5, I'm sure, right? Which is good. I feel like this style of just freedom in setting up cards and dominoes, whatever I said, and just knocking them, and then just letting things just flow. However, if that makes any sense, I hope it does. But that is just so fun, man. It's so addictive. I could easily, like, I'm sure 10 years from now, I could pick up Breath of the Wild and just easily just get sucked into the freaking combat. Like, I was showing my sister the game yesterday because, sequel coming out. I'm kind of in this mood lately with this game. If you couldn't tell, I'm making a video about it. But I was just watching her do this combat, and it's just like, man, dude, I wanted to go in myself and just play. Like, even just watching the damn thing just makes me want to go in and just go find one of those camps and then just bully the little the little bastards. Like, there's just something so much fun about it, man. And it's really good. Like, I went from this combat's so addictive that I went from a little pussy who was scared of anything stronger than a moblin to a man who actively searched for Lionels, armed only with bomb arrows and a dream. I mean, that's not even the best part. Like, this game's world, okay? Like I mentioned before, I had a goal to do 120 shrines. All of them. They're all just like little puzzles, and there's 120 of them scattered across this whole huge world. Some of them are hidden, some of them aren't, and it's crazy to me. Like, they fit like 120 shrines into this game. They're almost little mini dungeons, like from the other games. And there's 120 of the damn things. Like, what? God, it's so crazy. Like, there's so many of them. Like, so many of them have like storylines, like side quests and stuff. Like, there's the dragon ones too. Oh my god, dude. It's crazy. It is crazy how many memorable shrine quests there are, considering there's 120 of them. And I mean, there's a lot of them too that are just like out there. But damn, dude, it is so much fun. Now, people always praise Bethesda games for how engaging their towns are. And I would go so far as to say that Bethesda games' towns are easily like probably some of the better towns in game history. But damn, Breath of the Wild has some good ones too. Like, of course, you got stuff like Zora's Domain, which we've seen before. We've got the Goron Providence. We've got Kakariko Village. But we also have the, again, we've got Gerudo Valley. But we also now have the Rito Village. I love that place, dude. That is so fun. I think it's in the Tabantha region. That whole, like, just mountain area, like, just populated by birds. It's just such a charming little area. And then there's, like, I forgot where it was. There's the one town that's just, like, kind of by just the ocean. It's kind of an ocean-side town. Kind of reminded me of Hawaii a little bit. I don't know why. It was, oh my god, though. And I remember I went there and got lightning arrows to go fight the water temple thing or whatever. I guess I needed lightning arrows, like 20 of them. And I went there instead of killing the Lionel because I was a little bitch. But, God, I just remember, and I just loved, like, just finding this town. I felt like I broke the game because I was supposed to get them from the Lionel, but, like, I didn't want to fight them. And I felt like I cheated in a way, sort of, but I just utilized the open world to go out and get the lightning arrows, And, God, it's just crazy. And, like, circling back, like, on towns, I can't talk about towns without mentioning a specific side quest. So in Kakariko Village, there is a house you can pretty much buy, and you can buy furniture too once you've bought the house. I think it's like $3,000 or something. You might have to throw in like some wood too. I don't quite remember. Again, it's been a while, but I just remember, like, you get the house done, and you can go over to the Akala region, which is another one of my favorite regions. It's a really interesting little area with, like, guardians that are still about. You go over to this Akala region, and it's pretty much just like this island sort of thing. And this guy who worked on your house, he says he's leaving when you finished your house, pretty much. He said he's leaving, going to Akala, going actually north. He said he's going north. And he's just, like, kind of, like, at this island, and from what I remember, he's like, okay, I kind of want to build a town here. I think that would be fun. So you go and get materials, right? Help him. And you also will go get people to, like, run shops at the town, help build the town. And it's just really fun to just, like, go around the world getting people, going and getting wood, and just pretty much just building this town. Like, it's so wholesome, I think. And, like, at the end, it's so rewarding because you end up getting, like, one of the most, probably my favorite tracks in the game is this town's, like, track, pretty much. And you end up having the best town to pretty much buy arrows, right? The best town to, sleep at because it's free because you built the damn thing. And, well, the best town to pretty much be because it's just a vibe. It's such a, like, just happy atmosphere. And, like, you talk about atmospheres a lot in games. Usually they're not always happy, but damn, dude. If you walk away from this video, take one thing away, right? Terrytown. You gotta do Terrytown. It's so goddamn special, dude. Man, I just wish I could replay this game for the first time. Again, it was so fucking special, dude. I mean, I feel like we've all had that magical feeling, when you don't have a job and you just have a couple games and you play the absolute shit out of them, right? Especially, like, for Christmas when you're young and you get games for your brand new console and that's all you have and you just get so invested in these games. I think these types of scenarios, it only happens for so long, but it really does make some special memories. And for me, that game was Breath of the Wild. Like, what a shock. And it's really just, it's so fun to just look back on before the sequel comes out because, like, the only reason I'm even doing this video is because my buddy pulled it out and he's replaying it, right? Because the time the sequel is coming out. And he was replaying pretty much, the very beginning, the Great Plateau, and I just remembered how simple the times were when I was at that area. That was just, like, my main hobby, was just hopping into this world. This was, like, my world, pretty much. I felt like it was such a big, like, part of my brain was, like, what was in this world. And I just remember, like, going back to do all that Great Plateau stuff, and it just brings back so many memories of just simpler times, right? And just getting hit with such a nasty wave of nostalgia. I mean, nasty is not the right word to describe it. It's a good feeling for sure. It's such a good feeling to get hit with nostalgia. And, like, over the past couple days, I've just been looking back over everything that this game was and, like, how important and special it was to me. And, man, alright, it was special. The whole thing was something special. It has been a wild 6 years, man. Anyways, that'll be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. At time of writing this, it's the 9th of May. Only got a couple more days, man. Get to go pick up my pre-order from Best Buy and just, God, I'm hyped. What a ride this freaking community is. Anyways, with that, I'm out. Alright, see ya.